Here is the start of my bunkhouse bathroom addition. Time to do a little demo work first. Everything I take off here will go on the new end of the building. I will just cut it down about 6 inches. Right here, I'm taking one stud out and I'm flipping the other stud on the right hand side to make my wrapped opening for the bathroom door. It's going to be a barn door. So adding the bathroom is an afterthought. If I would have thought about this before, I would have cut the track ahead of time so I wouldn't have to cut it with a grinder, which was a pain, and had that door already set up, so I just had to take the plywood off. Cutting that bottom track really is a pain. It sends sparks everywhere, so luckily nothing caught on fire. Yay. This is now going to be an interior wall, and I didn't really need to insulate, but I had it there, and what the heck, it might not help with the cold, but it'll help with the sound of the bathroom. Well, I was definitely in a hurry to get that wall covered up. The guys that did the dirt work came by and was checking out what I was doing, and they said they heard it was supposed to rain this afternoon. Well, when it says it's going to rain in Montana, it usually rains in Montana. That night, it poured like crazy. I'm glad I covered it. Morning. Yesterday I took all the siding off and took the studs out and made an opening right there, which is going to go from the main body of the bunkhouse into the bathroom. Got that all done. Luckily it poured last night. I can't believe it, but today's going to be a muddy day. But I laid out this framing right here. Just the 2 corners are screwed in. Actually 4 corners are screwed in just to hold it together. It's all level, it's not perfectly square. And if you can see that far corner there, the studs are touching the ground. So I think I'm going to take this all apart and get the skid steer over here and try and dig it down a couple of inches. It might be later in the day when it dries out a little bit because it's a muddy mess. But in between that opening right there, this last stud, see where the water is, there's going to be a wall right straight above that stud, and that's going to be the opening for the bathroom. The guys moved the pipe a little bit inward more than I wanted, but it'll still work. I have to be able to dig all my ditches for the toilet drain, the sink drain, the shower drain, and then I'm going to have a drain coming all the way from underneath there for a sink inside the main part of the building. So I think I need to dig out just that far corner from the sewage pipe to the corner. Maybe 3 inches would help, 4 inches, and go from there. That skid steer is a fun little toy. I'm sure glad I get to use it. I traded some labor with the guy who owns the skid steer, did some drywall patching for him, and he lets me use it every once in a while, and man, does it get the job done. A lot better than a shovel. I had to go through and clean out all the dirt that I filled back into the post holes. Now I'm framing it up again, getting it square and level, which is not too bad. It's pretty easy since it's such a small area. And then I will have to cut the 90 metal, which is 16 gauge, 3 inch by 36 inches long, what I use to sink into the concrete and hold the floor up. That quick little flash right there was me showing you the 90 metal when I cut some 2.5 inch pieces of track and screw it to the 90 metal, and that way it anchors it in the concrete so the building won't move up or down. What a blessing having water. No more traveling up the hill to get water to bring down to fill into the concrete. Started thinking about the layout of my plumbing, and where I had them put in the drain for the septic in the middle of the building is totally the wrong spot. So what I did this morning is dug this up, and I'm going to get it out of the middle of the building, and I'm going to bring it right over here and cut it off just at the edge of the building. And I'm going to reduce it down to 3 inch, and then right here, about 17 inches off this wall and 12 inches out, I'll put my toilet and then run that into the 3 inch. And then over here, I'm going to put a shower, so 12 inches off the wall and 24 inches off that wall. I'll put my 2 inch valve or 2 inch line for the sewage, the water. And then I'll keep coming through with this and come over to about right here and put my sink with 1.5 inches. And then I will put a coupling with a bushing and bush it down to 1.5 inches and follow that all the way underneath and go to where the kitchen sink is going to be. So I'm giving myself a ton more room this way, and I've got almost all the parts and pieces. I've kind of laid it out right here just to make sure I have the right stuff. But here's my reducer from the 4 inch. You have to use a special coupling because the green pipe is sewage and it's a different outside diameter. So that will go to here, to the reducer, reduce it down to 3 inch. This is going to go to the toilet, and there's my toilet flange and all that stuff. And then this will go over to my shower, and it's going to be laying flat. And I bushed it down to 2 inch, and then come off this way, and I'll run this line over here to my sink. And this will be my vent coming out, and I'm going to use an air admittance valve. And then I'm going 1.5 inches from here all the way under the house to another sink, which I'll use a 90 and go up for the sink, and use this other 90 and go up for the air admittance valve. And that way I should have plenty of air. So I've got it pretty well, I think, thought out. That's pretty funny. But I won't be doing it until I come back. Friday I'm leaving to go to Kansas. My sister-in-law's 70th birthday, so I don't want to cut anything and have any issues while I'm gone. So when I get back, I'll be cutting this and figuring it out and reframing the floor, or framing the floor, and starting to put the plywood down and walls and all the rest. So stay tuned.